Hello class, so this video is our first lecture on mechanics of deformable bodies. Basically, this subject or this course, which is the ES17 or mechanics of deformable bodies, has something to do with the strength of materials. But generally, looking at the bigger picture from the word itself, strength, this subject's main analysis is analyzing the strength of a given material, considering how will it behave despite of the application of load to its own body. How will a material behave? Paano ba magbe-behave yung material after applyan ng load? Will it break? Will it deform? Or what? So that is the main concern, or that is the main study of this subject, in which this one really plays a greater role, or this one is a very crucial in your higher majors. For example, yung CE 71 at saka yung CE 72. These are all reinforced concrete designs, in which yung i-analyze natin dito is how will a structure consists of concrete as its main material, and how will it behave, or how will it resist loads na i-apply dito. So yung sa mechanics of deformable bodies, it affects this course kasi in these subjects, yung CE72 at saka CE71 is kung gaano ba kalakas yung concrete na ginamit natin, or paano tayo nag-design ng concrete so that it will not break or it will not deform in the near future. Same thing or same story with your CE81, which is timber, and the CE82, which is your steel design. Yun nga, yung dito, material dito is concrete, dito is timber, then dito naman is steel. So basically, these three are all designs in which ang material is concrete, timber, and steel respectively, and yung i-design natin is kaya ba ng mga material na ito to withstand, or kaya ba nitong labanan ang force na i-apply natin dito sa materials na ito. So as what I've said, this subject, the strength of materials, is very important, so you better not miss some discussions with regards to this topic. So basically, it is mechanics. So speaking of mechanics, there are fundamental areas of engineering mechanics. This is just an overview because I know you have done, or you have already taken your ES11, which is your mechanics of statics. The second one would be mechanics of dynamics, and the last one would be the mechanics of deformable bodies. This subject, deformable bodies. But let's see the difference. Okay, as what you have said, or as what I have said, you have done your static, the ES11, in which its main concern, or these two generally, these two's main concern is the analysis of mechanics of rigid bodies. From the word itself, rigid bodies, it does not really consider the deformation of a material after a load is being applied into that given material. Ay pagmin sa static ergodynamics, which is mechanics of rigid bodies, after nas kanilang applyan sa load na di pag-cause sa deformation, parang dito tanto ipag-consider. Pero sa deformable bodies, deformation is being considered. So that is the difference between these two. Again, sa mechanics of rigid bodies, there's no deformation. All you need to do is to analyze kung kaya ba nung structure or kaya ba nung support to withstand the given load. On the other hand, sa deformable bodies, ang gina-consider natin dito is, will a material be strong enough not to break or not to deform? Let's look into an example of this of the difference of these two. Now, let's give somewhat an illustration to give you the better picture or the clearer picture of the difference between mechanics of rigid bodies and mechanics of deformable bodies. So, mechanics of rigid bodies versus mechanics of deformable bodies. So here's the difference, guys. For example, we have this given support. The given support, what is this? It carries a load weight W. Giya ko na support na mawi sa W. Tapos there is another support P in here. Okay, listen. Sa mechanics of rigid bodies, its main concern is with this support P, giya ko na support P, na kagaganyan mawid weight W o D. Dito yung concern, no? Mechanics of rigid bodies. That's it. Will this support P be able to carry the weight in here? That is the concern of mechanics of rigid bodies. On the other hand, sa mechanics of deformable bodies, kaya bang kaya bang i-carry or kaya bang dalhin ng length L na ito, kaya bang dalhin ng span na ito, yung load na ito, without causing deformation? Pag minsan, nagiya ko na span, nagiya beam, nagkagawidan yan giya weight without causing deflection, meaning to siya, di kibaba saya. Gito yung pagminsa, mechanics of deformable bodies. Meaning to say, ipag-consider ka giya span saya, ito na, pagkagagamawid sa weight or di. Yan ni bidaliran. Again, si mechanics of rigid bodies, rakiyan na, kagaga ipi mawid giya weight or di. Dito bu, kagaganyan mawid or di. Pero sa mechanics of deformable bodies, yung concern dito is, kaya ba nung material na ito or kaya ba nung span na ito, itong load na ito, without causing the whole span to break or to deform? So those are the difference, or that is the difference between mechanics of rigid bodies and mechanics of deformable bodies. Again, sa mechanics of rigid bodies, deflection or deformation is not being considered or not being taken into consideration. Okay? Kasi ayan kabasta na so kung so deformation na kay itubo. Pero sa mechanics of deformable bodies, so kabasta niya no na giya ko na deformation na pagka-affect. Okay? So pero generally, at the end of the day, si ko higher major stand, no, we always, what is this? We always consider deflection. Gia notation na deflection na ya. Gia sigma denotes deflection. Okay? In which we will see lots of deflections for in our future videos. Now, let's proceed with the simple stress. So ito, magsisimula na yung stress natin sa engineering mechanics. Not just engineering mechanics, but the engineering courses as a whole, basically. So, okay, simple stresses. So simple stresses is the force is perpendicular to the cross-sectional area. Again, sa simple stress, so kung so force ka na perpendicular to the surface area. Meaning to say, for example, how should we say this? We have this given support, fixed support, and with this beam. Tapos, there is this given load P. Okay? At na load P saya. Again, yung sabi dito is perpendicular daw. Perpendicular. Perpendicular or load is perpendicular to the cross-sectional sectional area. Okay? Sa simple stresses daw, load is perpendicular to the cross-sectional area. In this figure or in this illustration, we have this support with the applied load P. So sa applied load P, ang ginamit dito na perpendicular to the cross-sectional area is this one. Giya saya. Applied load. Di ba gisupita o? Na kay perpendicular to the cross-sectional area. So aya area pag minsan na giya saya. Okay? Giya area niyan. At the same time, sa simple stresses, it's either tension or compression. Gidi pagmindro. For example, sa tension, so load kwanta, support ta. This one is in tension, while this one, the compression, this one is the compression. Yan lang yung difference. Imagine nyo geso kwanta no, geso support ta. Pag minsan tension na panggamit niyan, geso fix. Geso fix na panggamit niya na ya, panggamit niyan. Meaning to say gito tension, meaning na panggamitan. Usually mga example tension na mga cable, mga string gito. Pero ito, geso fix, geso kwan ka, fix support aya, geso fix ka na geso beam ka. Tapos tension is panggamit niyan. Sa compression, geso compression sa yanan tulod yan, ipag-compress yan. From the word itself, compress, ipag-compress yan so member. Gito two parts of simple stresses. It's either tension or compression. Another thing is its formula. The formula that we will be using is sigma equals to force over area. Gya force na so load over the cross-sectional area katay saya. And kung in-apply so load, that is the difference between, that is the formula to consider or to use when analyzing simple stress. Again, sigma is equal to force over area. Okay? Again, sa simple stress, the applied load is perpendicular to the cross-sectional area. Do not get confused. Again, perpendicular. This is the load and this is the area. It should be perpendicular. It should be perpendicular. Because again, next, we will be considering parallel and that is a different story. Okay? Sa simple stress or axial stress, again, perpendicular. So, let's proceed with what is this? Shearing stress. Yung kanina is axial or simple stress. Yun is perpendicular. This time, the load is parallel to the cross sectional area. And then sa median yan, sa simple stress or sa axial stress is perpendicular. But this time sa shearing stress, the load is parallel to the cross-sectional area. Again, parallel. Given this illustration, for example, this illustration. Okay? And then, there is this material after which pag-apply ka sa load P. Okay? Pag-apply ka sa load P. As you can see, yung sabi natin kanina, load is parallel to the cross-sectional area. So sa shearing stress, yung cross-sectional area natin is dito. Saya kanyan pag-fail, di ba? Imagine na nga man na, ipag-compress ka ipag-press kaya saya. So basically, saya pag-fail. And this is the parallel cross-sectional area of the load P. Okay, to give you a better understanding, for example, gia notebook and then gia eraser. Tapos, I applied a load in here. Basically, saya kanyan pag-fail. Saya. Okay? So, ito yung pagminro. Ito yung pagminro sa failure on that section. That is parallel. So, aya pugusaran tano sa nakuan. Aya tano sa pugusaran area na so parallel ron. But basically, sa shearing stress, na there are two types of shearing stress. One of which is, there are two types. Two types of shearing stress are, what is this? Vertical shear stress and horizontal shear stress. Okay, these are the two types of shearing stress. Okay, what's the difference between vertical shear stress and horizontal shear stress? Kataya o median yan. Given this figure, given this figure and the applied load P. Okay? An applied load P ron. So sa kuan, for example, nagya na kawatan yan na 1 mm. Pikira man na 1 mm nya kay tonan 0.001 meter. So if ano yan apply ta sa na load, nasaya pag fail, di ba? Yung sabi ko kanina parallel. So saya pag fail. So that is the vertical. Vertical, which has the formula of, ayan yung formula na tau is equal to V over AV. Di ba? V over AV. Giyabuha V na shear force over the shear area. Shear force na giya P. Sami naman sa P para di ganun palibugan. P. V. Sayapan V. That is the load. Ay taro yun sa rubusan na notation na V to denote that this is a shear force. Again, yung formula ng vertical shear stress is tau is equal to shear force over shear area. Yun again, sa vertical shear stress is again yung perpendicular, pero see the difference, see the difference. For example, this condition or this illustration. And let's say yung distance nito is 1 meter. And then, imagine, may apply ta sa load V. Pikirang man na 1 meter na may apply ko sa load. What do you think is the failure? Saya pa rin? Nope. This time, saya pag-fail. Nabaskan ko pa ako, nababkopak, ugay na, saya pag-fail. Nabaskan ko pa ako na pag-deflect. Kaswa o kwanta structure na giya. Kaswa o giya kwan structure na tarin eh. Yeah. Okay? Saya kanan may fail sa man to sayo. Imagine nyo? Saya. Di ba? Pikirang man na. Giya o. Pikirang nga so dua kwan. Giya dua body. For example. Dito rin eh. Sa vertical shear stress, for example, 1 meter, 1 mm lang yan. Tapos you are going to apply this load. This kwan with the application of load. Pag apply ka sa load, ay failure na saya gusto failure. Pero imagine 1 meter yung distance, 1 meter. This time yung failure natin is magdi-deflect yung beam natin. Pag deflect ka niyan, nabanse ka yan, pag break saya ka, pag deflect. And that is the horizontal shear stress. Simple pa rin yung analysis. Imagine kung closer tong supports na itong supports dito, di ba parang vertical shear stress, pero this time sa horizontal shear stress is malayo nga lang, and the failure is through deflection. Again guys, our class, sa mechanics of deformable bodies, failure of a structure is one of the analysis to pass this course. Okay? So again, so vertical shear stress, yung failure natin is vertical vertical. Same pa rin sa kwan. Same analysis sa horizontal shear stress. Kaso nga lang, yung dito is naging horizontal yung failure natin due to its long distance between the two supports. So basically, sa horizontal shear stress is nagkaroon ng deflection dahil malayo yung dalawang supports. Dito sa vertical shear stress, malapit lang. So dito nag-fail. Dito sa horizontal shear stress, dito nagkaroon ng deflection because of its long distance between the two supports. Now, the formula to use in here is no longer rho is equal to V over AV. It's already this one. FV is equal to VQ over IP. Just see for your notes. Tingnan lang ninyo sa handouts ninyo kung sino si V, Q, I at saka si B. Basically, so sa horizontal shear stress, yung V is yung load, yung Q is yung static moment of area, yung I is yung moment of inertia, and then yung B is yung sheared length. Normally, dito sa vertical shear stress, usually ito nangyayari sa concrete at saka sa steel. Why? Imagine, so concrete na nabas kanya hindi mag-bend, automatic kanya na both kwan. Usually sa concrete at sa steel na nabas kanya hindi mag-bend ka, automatically kanya na ka break. For example, tarin di mag-break. Pero on the other hand, sa horizontal shear stress, tayo na sa mga timber, sa mga kayo, imagine so kayo ina-apply sa load na there is this possibility, the high chance of its deflection. Unlike sa concrete agustin na ina-apply ka sa load na matic or automatic ka pag breaks kanyan. That is the usual application. Sa vertical shear stress is sa concrete at steel in which kapag ina-applyan mo ng load, it will break. Pero sa horizontal shear stress is timber because when you apply load, it will just basically deflect or bend.